You can quibble about the guidelines, et cetera, but the spirit of what I'm preaching all the time was contradicted, and I got to own that. And so I want to apologize to you because I need to preach and practice, not just preach and not practice. And I've done my best to do that.
Lord Gavin Newsom is exposed in California. Patriots are rebelling, civil disobedience in the streets, Huntington Beach, multiple cities in California against the so-called holiday lockdowns that are for your own good. This is where we are in America. I want to welcome you guys to the Lives Matter official podcast. My name is Drew Hernandez, hopefully one of your favorite hosts here on this thing we call the internet, which is kind of like being carved out very quickly only for anyone that's on the left to have a voice. But if you are here and you have found this transmission, I want to invite you guys to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to subscribe right now. But also make sure to smash the like button, destroy the like button, let the algorithm know that you want to continue to see videos like this. And also, guys, I am now officially on Rumble due to many requests in the comment sections. The link is in the description below. Make sure to go subscribe to me on Rumble. It's an alternative to YouTube. And I can't live stream yet. Like, listen, I love to live stream. My podcasts are all done live. Some people like to pre-record. I've tried to do it in the past. I just don't feel as natural as I am when I'm live. I like to interact with the audience. It's just a different vibe. I don't know. It might sound weird. Some people might have a different approach where, hey, I could pre-record and kind of sweep under my mistakes, with edits. But with me, I just feel like I do better live. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment sections below. But anyways, until I can live stream officially on Rumble, we'll live stream this podcast on YouTube. It'll obviously be replayed on YouTube, but it will also be posted on Rumble the following maybe couple hours or the following day in the morning, and clips will be chopped up and placed up on Rumble. So make sure to go subscribe to me on Rumble, guys. It is in the description below. And also follow me on Parler. I've been kind of taking a look at what's going on my Twitter. We gained over 20 million views after the DC Million Mega March a couple weekends ago. And after we gained more than 20 million views, that's all due to you guys, Real News Gang, I've kind of seen my Twitter feed seems to be a little shadow banned. I post something and it only gets about 100 retweets. It doesn't make any sense. It only makes sense because we live in an age of digital censorship on the internet. So I say that to say, guys, make sure to follow me on Parler as well. It's Lives Matter Official. I think the link is in the description below, but if you're on Parler, just type in Lives Matter Official, Drew Hernandez. You will find me. Obviously, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Lives Matter Official, Twitter, Lives Matter Show. I don't even care for Facebook anymore, to be honest with you guys. Facebook is just is ridiculous. So follow me on Parler, subscribe to me on Rumble. The links are in the description below. Share this video with everyone you know. We will continue to live stream here as long as we can, but we will repost everything on Rumble, and even clips that I don't post here on YouTube, they will be exclusively posted on Rumble. And also, guys, we do super chats at the end of the show. That's how you can support this channel. I don't monetize this podcast because obviously I'm deboosted. Look how many subscribers we have and how many viewers we get on our podcast. The mathematics do not make any sense. So if you guys would like to support me and my reporting and what I do, not only as an independent content creator, but also as a reporter, a person of the media, everything that I do, guys, the super chats, even if you guys want to support me on Cash App or Venmo, PayPal, Patreon monthly, the links are all in the description below. So let's get in to the good stuff. So Governor Gavin Newsom is imposing lockdowns yet again upon the people of California. I myself have lived in California all my life. Okay, 30 years old, and I am a born and raised Californian, and I have never seen anything like this in my lifetime, where these kind of tyrannical, absolutely tyrannical. This is the definition of tyranny. Did you guys see the other day? I should have pulled up the clip. I put it on Twitter. But Joe Biden absolutely attempting to give a presidential speech as the so-called fake president-elect. Did you see him actually just completely botching his speech? Attempting to say that he met with the governors of the United States of America and they're going to impose some kind of defense act to where this is literally what he says. We are going to impose, I'm going to impose, enforce, I don't know what he said, some kind of, I don't know what it was, so that they can go around dictating what companies will do. I mean, we have had 4 years of Antifa, Black Lives Matter, CNN, MSNBC, the radical left, with absolute paranoia and conspiracy, attempting to say that Donald Trump is Hitler 2.0, the leader of the Fourth Reich, and that he was some kind of Hitlerian dictator fascist, right? I can't find one speech where Donald Trump has said we are going to go around dictating companies when talking about policy. This is who Joe Biden is, because this is what Joe Biden plans to do. He's obviously a Chinese agent, an agent of the deep state, a puppet of the New World Order. And the deep state, that's on both sides, Democrat and Republican. Listen, there's a reason why Republicans are not supporting Donald Trump right now, because they are establishment. They are not only rhinos, but they are inside of the deep state machine. There's a reason why Republicans are not supporting Donald J. Trump when they absolutely know that they should, because Donald J. Trump is literally the only reason why many Republicans in the House and in the Senate are winning elections right now. And I think that there's possibly a new party that's going to emerge outside within the MAGA movement, because people are fed up with the Republican Party. This is why I myself have never come out and really said, support Republicans, red, 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 red. I never say anything like that. The reason why is because of what you're seeing right now. There are deep state Republicans that depend on you to depend on them in order to have any kind of optics of having anything that resembles conservatism or America. That's a dangerous place to be. This is why Donald Trump ran, because of politicians that are all talk, no action. But I'm not going to rail on the Republican Party right now. That's for a future episode. But I just wanted to point that out to you, is how Joe Biden is already using words like dictate as the so-called fake president-elect of the United States of America when talking about policy. Antifa has a real dictator on their hands now. Black Lives Matter, refuse fascism. If Joe Biden somehow pulls this off and the deep state officially and successfully hijacks this election, Antifa and Black Lives Matter and refuse fascism are literally going to have a real dictator on their hands in the person of Joe Biden and even Kamala Harris. Why do I say that? Because there's more evidence to prove that this man has dictator tendencies on live television than Donald Trump himself. So who's the conspiracy theorists? It's been 4 years, and Donald Trump is not the fascist that they claimed him to be. It seems like the left is. Governor Cuomo has won an Emmy, or is going to win. I think he won it. I don't know. I probably should have looked that up, but he's up for an Emmy for his television use of informing the public about COVID-19 when he's responsible for a lot of deaths. Governor Cuomo is an absolute hypocrite. So this brings me to the West Coast. Governor Gavin Newsom. Governor Gavin Newsom is obviously a tyrannical psychopath, if you haven't read by now. Let's get this up real quick. Here's an article by Fox News. If you haven't been keeping up to date with what's going on in California, California's Newsom imposes new lockdown. Includes county where he dined at upscale French restaurant. Let's read this real quick. California Governor Gavin Newsom on Thursday imposed an overnight curfew through December. They're doing this in the UK, by the way. Everything that's done in Europe and the UK is a preview of what's coming to America. Governor Gavin Newsom is already jumping the gun for obvious reasons. California Governor Gavin Newsom on Thursday imposed an overnight curfew through December to stave off the state's resurgent coronavirus cases, which has an extremely high survival rate. The limited stay-at-home order applies to 41 counties that account for nearly the entire state population of just under 40 million people. Beginning Saturday, non-essential work movement and gatherings in purple-tier counties must stop between 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Let me just stop right there. Look at this freaking psychopath. Like, did you ever think for one second, that you would be living in the United States of America and having a psychopath, tyrannical governor telling you that you cannot leave your house between 10 p.m. and 5 in the morning? 10 p.m. and 5 in the morning? How is that going to stop COVID? Does the coronavirus just go to sleep at 10 p.m. and wake up at 5 in the morning, ready to go to work and infect and kill people? Is that how this works? Is the coronavirus some kind of entity itself that is on some kind of time clock? I thought these people go with science. How is the coronavirus going to be halted between 10 p.m. and 5 in the morning? Why? Because people aren't going to go to clubs? I thought they were already shut down. People aren't going to go to bars? I thought they already shut down. Where are people going to go? You already shut the country down. Yeah, they did. You already shut the state down. Nothing's open. Disneyland can't open. You can't go to freaking Disneyland right now. Can't go to the gym. They're barely allowing people, which was closed, which we're going to get into as well. California before this was barely allowing people to eat and dine outside. What is open between 10 and 5 a.m. that is already closed that's going to stop COVID-19? You see, people on the left, they don't realize this. They don't think about this stuff. It's very simple. It's extremely simple. It doesn't take a rocket science to sit here and be like, how in the hell is a curfew going to stop COVID between 10 at night and 5 in the morning? Did you ever think for 1 second that you'd be living in a country where a politician would be telling you when, how you can leave your house? When and how you can leave your house? I'm just here to tell you guys on the left, like especially leftists right now, this is not normal in any way, shape, or form. This is dictators at work. This is deep state, globalist, great reset agenda, tyrannical psychopaths that are unleashing their authoritarian itch on the American people, which includes you. There are Democrats and leftists that are suffering financially because of these stupid policies that make no sense. That make absolutely no sense. Governor Gavin Newsom is an authoritarian psychopath that is obsessed with power, like Nancy Pelosi, all of these Democrat leftist senators, governors, congressional socialists and communists that have power and have secured power. All of these people are authoritarian psychopaths that are power hungry to the point of telling you when and how you can leave your house. How do you not see that that's psychotic? This is America. This is not Venezuela. This is not the UK. This is not communist Soviet Russia. This is not Cuba. I don't care, AOC. I don't care what the hell you want. I don't care what the hell you say. We will never become a socialist or communist nation. And how do I know that? Because we have a constitution that's still in play, and we have millions of patriots that are not going anywhere. Anywhere. In any way, shape, or form. I want to show you guys real quick. This is what Lord Newsom. Well, he was actually exposed, and I showed you guys this earlier. Here's actually some photos. Photos obtained by Los Angeles Fox 11 showed the governor in the company of multiple lobbyists and even 2 of the state's top medical officials. So these are the people that are recommending you to stay in your freaking house, lose your job, lose your income, lose your mind, lose your ability to go to the gym, lose your ability to congregate in your church, lose your ability to congregate with your family. These are the people that are telling you to stay in your home and to listen and to just deal with it. The same people. Photos showing the governor in the company of multiple lobbyists and even 2 of the state's top medical officials. Here's the photo. Having a jolly old time. Photos show unmasked Governor Gavin Newsom. Man, Fox, this is really annoying right here on the top. I don't care about this right now. Photos show unmasked Governor Gavin Newsom attending French laundry dinner. He discussed this at a press conference earlier in the week, calling it a mistake on his part. There they are, a few lobbyists and medical professionals. And there's Governor Lord Gavin Newsom himself, our Lord, our Master, the one who controls our destiny. Amid public backlash and accusations of hypocrisy, Newsom apologized on Monday, calling his decision to attend a bad mistake. Oh, please. Last month, his office was widely ridiculed for tweeting, "Going out to eat with members of your household this weekend? Don't forget to keep your mask on in between bites." There it is. The same people that are telling you this foolish, ridiculous, unmedical, unscientific advice. Going out to eat with members of your household this weekend? Don't forget to keep your mask on in between bites. Do your part to keep those around you healthy. Same hypocrites right here. Same hypocrites. Newsom, medical officials, and lobbyists that tell you to put a damn mask on, and to even put a mask on in between bites. Don't leave your house. Don't go to church. You can't go anywhere. You can't go out your house past 10 p.m. But there they are, having a jolly old time with no masks on, not social distancing. Why? Because even they know it's full of crap. Dr. Fauci himself, at the preliminary stages of the deep state rollout of the coronavirus, literally said himself that it is foolish, I quote, for people to be walking around with masks on, end quote. He said they might block a droplet or two, but they're not going to provide the perfect protection that's needed to combat the coronavirus. That's literally what Dr. Fauci told the world. And here we are. You want to know why they're not wearing masks? Because they know what I just told you. This isn't about coronavirus. This is about power. Let's go back to the full cam. I want to play you guys a video of Lord Gavin Newsom with his fake apology. And you decide for yourself how full of garbage this freaking leftist authoritarian psychopath really is. Let's take a look.
Very soberly acknowledge that a few weeks ago, I was asked to go to a friend's 50th birthday. My wife and I, a friend that I've known for almost 20 years, and a friend that had put a lot of time and energy into his 50th birthday. It was.
Oh, so Governor Gavin Newsom can congregate with his wife, his family, his close friends of decades long, people he cares about. He can go and have a birthday dinner, not social distancing, not wearing a mask, not abiding by the guidelines that this Lord has imposed on the American people in California. Oh, he can congregate with his loved ones, but you can't. Because he is in control. Because he is an elite. Because he is an authoritarian elected official that does not have to abide by the same dictatorial rules that he has imposed on you. Why? Because you are the people, you are the peons, and he is the elite. Screw your family, screw your loved ones, but he can be with his. Oh, wear a mask. Save lives, though. Unbelievable. Let's continue with this psychopath.
Napa, which was in the orange status, relatively loose compared to some other counties. It was to be an outdoor restaurant, and we started the program started at 4 o'clock. It was one of those early reservations. I got there a little bit late at 4:30, and as soon as I sat down at the larger table, I realized it was a little larger group than I had anticipated. And I made a bad mistake. Instead of sitting down, I should have stood up.
Yeah, you mean you made a bad mistake because you probably realized that there was a photographer in the room that took a picture of you being an absolute freaking moronic authoritarian hypocrite? Do you think he's apologizing because of what he did? He took to damage control because he got photographed and got freaking caught. You're not sorry because of what you did. You're sorry because you got caught. I'm shocked that he even apologized like this. It doesn't matter. These people don't care. You think he's out there making this public statement because he's actually sorry about being a hypocrite or because he got caught? Yeah, sure. Lord Gavin, continue to lecture us with your righteous humility.
And walked back, got in my car, and drove back to my house. Instead, I chose to sit there with my wife and a number of other couples that were outside the household. And you can quibble about the guidelines, et cetera, but the spirit of what I'm preaching all the time was...
Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, you can quibble about the guidelines, maybe because there's guidelines for here. Yeah, kind of how like the American people in California are. are criticizing your ridiculous guidelines? Kind of how like the American people across the entire United States, even people in Europe and the UK, across the entire world that are being forced to lock down, like even in Australia? Yeah, people are quibbling about the guidelines. They think they're stupid. They make no sense. And there you are. There you are, caught red-handed. Freaking psychopath. Let's listen to his lesson on repentance. Here we go. We're going to be lectured about repentance by Governor Gavin Newsom. This is freaking ridiculous. Look at this.
Contradicted, and I got to own that. And so I want to apologize to you because I need to preach and practice, not just preach and not practice. And I've done my best to do that. We're all human. We all fall short sometimes. When I say minimize mixing, I mean it. But again, COVID fatigue is exhausting, and I'm empathetic beyond words. Very soberly.
You are exhausting. You yourself are literally exhausting. Oh, the COVID, like, dude, just shut up already. Just admit it. Wouldn't you rather these people just admit it? Like, just admit that you're an authoritarian psychopath. Just admit it. Admit that you're power hungry. Admit that you want to control the American people. Admit that you're a hypocrite, but at least admit that you are thirsty for power. Just admit it. Admit that you're a dictator. I would have more respect for Governor Gavin Newsom, not with that fake little apology and fake repentance, lecturing us, quoting the Bible. We all fall short. It's like, oh, shut up. You want to sit there? Is Governor Gavin Newsom all of a sudden our pastor lecturing us about forgiveness and human error and incapability to be perfect? While he's shutting down churches across California, going to sit there and quote the Bible on us? We all fall short. That's literally in the Bible. Romans chapter 6. These people are insane. They're psychopaths. Governor Gavin Newsom depends on you to sit there and just take it like a limp-wristed, passive person. Not call it out. Not be aggressive with it, and just let it slide. I would have more respect for Governor Gavin Newsom if he would just come out and be like, yeah, I have authoritarian views. I will govern like an absolute dictator. I will ignore the Constitution. I will make all kinds of unconstitutional decisions in my governing. And that's what you voted for. I mean, I would have more respect for him if he would just come out and admit that, rather than sit there and try and lie to us. At least freaking dictators in Cuba and Venezuela, at least they're like open about their rule. They don't sit there and try and say, oh, I'm not a dictator. Dude, they're clearly, like their policy, they make it very publicly known that they are freaking dictators. I'm not saying I support it. I'm just saying at least be man enough to admit who you really are. That's what I'm saying. I want to show you guys some reactions. So what was the reaction to this imposed curfew by this psychopathic governor? Let's get this up. I'm going to show you guys some reactions to this. Some law enforcement reaction, which I thought was very commendable. And kudos to these sheriffs and law enforcement agencies. 13 law enforcement agencies that refuse to enforce California's new curfew, and why. These police departments and sheriff's offices say they will not enforce California's stay-at-home curfew, which starts Saturday. You guys already know what happened. Number one is the Sacramento Sheriff's Office. Sacramento Sheriff Scott Jones released a statement Thursday saying his deputies will not be enforcing the new curfew, as well as any potential impending orders at the county or state level. Number two, Sacramento Police Department. The Sacramento Police Department joins the list of agencies that will not enforce the new curfew, according to Sergeant Sabrina Briggs. Since the beginning of the pandemic, Sacramento Police has said their primary approach has been to educate, not enforce. Wow. This approach will continue throughout the new stay-at-home order. Number 3, Stanislaus County's Sheriff's Office. I probably said that way wrong. Forgive me. But this county and their Sheriff's Office says they plan to continue a strong educational component instead of enforcing the new curfew. They will, however, urge everyone to avoid any unnecessary or non-essential travel during the curfew hours. That is appropriate. That is American. You give recommendations and you urge people to do what you might think is right and let them decide for themselves. It's not that hard. Stockton Police Department. Number 4, the Stockton Police Department released their statement Thursday afternoon stating that they will also be taking an education-first approach. We will continue to prioritize emergency calls for service while balancing a tiered approach of education, warnings, and enforcement when addressing violations related to this last order, reads the post on Facebook. That's a very nice and professional way of saying we are not going to enforce the order. We are just going to educate people what we think they should do and let them decide for themselves. That is the role of the police when it comes to unconstitutional decrees, orders, and laws. Sarah's Police Department released a statement after receiving multiple calls and messages from people following the governor's order. The department wants to assure citizens that they will continue an educational approach and will not arrest people for violating the state's order. Good job. Placer County Sheriff's Office. The Placer County Sheriff's Office waited until Friday to release their statement saying they will continue to educate instead to arrest. We understand the importance of having a careful balance between mitigating COVID-19 and maintaining individual liberties and freedoms. This is where Gavin Newsom's mind should be, said the sheriff's office in a Facebook post. The sheriff's office will continue to respond to criminal complaints and ensure public safety, which remains our number 1 priority. Number 7, Sutter County Sheriff's Office. In a message from Sutter County Sheriff Brandon Barnes, deputies will not use enforcement action on people solely for violating the state's new stay-at-home order. The sheriff's office will continue with an educational approach, echoing what many other counties have said regarding the stay-at-home order. As we head into the holiday season, we will see increases in certain types of criminal activity. We recognize our duty is to protect the rights of our citizens, and to that end, we will focus our resources on priority calls like crimes against persons and property crimes. Number 8, Butte County Sheriff's Office. Butte County Sheriff's Office. Corey Hania says his deputies will not be enforcing the new stay-at-home order. Don't you just love civil disobedience? It's hilarious. Order as to not add more stress to an already difficult time. In these challenging times, there is a great deal of fear, anxiety, uncertainty within the community, said Hania in a Facebook post. I do not wish to compound those concerns by creating distrust and friction between residents and law enforcement. Hania showed a concern over the enforcement of the order, describing the process as very troubling, which I agree. They are upholding their constitutional oaths. Number 9, Dixon Police Department. In a message to residents, Chief of Police Robert Thompson alluded to not enforcing the order, although not directly saying it. Thompson said the department is asking, pleading, begging residents to not make police play their role of enforcer for the curfew and other mandates. The officers and employees of the DBD are experiencing them just like you. Our kids are out of school. Our spouses are remote working. Our families are separated during the holidays. We get it because we're living it too. Number 10, Roosevelt Police Department. Guys, I'm going over every single one of these because the news won't. The news is not going to show you guys this stuff. And on this show, we show you what's happening. They're not going to show Governor Gavin Newsom being disobeyed by sheriffs and police departments. Roosevelt Police Department. The Roosevelt Police Department issued a statement Friday morning explaining how they will continue educating the community at large. However, citizens are encouraged to continue following state guidelines. What do we got? Two more. Where am I at? Number 13. El Dorado County Sheriff's Office. The El Dorado County Sheriff's Office said they will not enforce California's curfew or any other health order related to it. The Sheriff's Office will not prevent Thanksgiving activities. Woo! Maximum occupancies or mask-wearing mandates at social gatherings within the county of El Dorado, the Sheriff's Office said in a Facebook post. Awesome. Number 12. Solano County Sheriff's Office. Friday evening, the Solano County Sheriff's Office announced their stance on California's new limited stay-at-home order, saying they will not respond to calls based solely on noncompliance. For Thanksgiving, my deputies will not be policing the activities and other gatherings, as it is up to the community to monitor the safety of their own family. That is freedom. Kudos to this sheriff. Kudos to him. 100%. That is constitutional. That is freedom. Folsom Police Department. The Folsom Police Department announced they would not be enforcing the new stay-at-home curfew, instead focusing on proactive outreach and education before any enforcement. This process has proven to be effective at both educating the community and helping keep the public safe, said the police department in a Facebook post. The Folsom community is strongly encouraged to cooperate with the guidance set forth by the state of California. This process has proven to be effective at both educating the community and helping keep the public safe. Let's go back. So, I just want to make this comment. I read you every single one of these counties for this reason. And the reason being is because sheriffs, police departments, police officers are in obligation to the Constitution of the United States of America to serve and to protect. That is their job, to uphold, from a biblical standpoint, according to Romans chapter 13, righteous law. From a constitutional standpoint, to uphold constitutional law. The laws that Governor Gavin Newsom is imposing upon Americans, I'll give you a biblical worldview. An unconstitutional order goes against the law of the land, according to Romans chapter 13. A lot of Bible teachers and pastors aren't going to tell you this because they bow down to the state and they fear losing their 501c3 because they worship big government rather than big God. That's a fact. You, as a Christian, are not obligated by God to bow down to an unconstitutional law in the United States of America. That goes against what the Bible literally teaches in Romans chapter 13. From a constitutional standpoint, police officers, and I've been making this point over and over again, police officers in America, which I'm glad to see by sheriffs and police departments, are going to have to start to choose, which they are, and I'm glad they are in California. This is a good sign. This is why I'm covering it. CNN isn't going to cover this. MSNBC won't tell you this. You got to pay homage and honor and give honor to where it's due. Let's give honor to these sheriffs and these police departments that are rejecting tyrannical, unconstitutional, stay-at-home curfews and mandates to uphold their constitutional oaths, to uphold constitutional laws. Praise God for that. That's what they're supposed to do. And let the people decide for themselves. This is a matter of human rights. To leave your home or not? And the left will sit here and piss and moan and cry until the cows come home. They will take to the streets by the hundreds of thousands in order to still have the right of women to be able to kill babies. But you can't get behind resisting a tyrannical, psychopathic governor telling you can't leave your house between 10 p.m. and 5 in the morning? Thank God for these sheriffs. Thank God for these police. And I wanted to cover this because police get the worst press. They get the worst coverage. CNN won't cover the good things that police do. But here on the Lives Matter official podcast with Drew Hernandez, we will. I suggest further police departments, further sheriffs, they follow this, because what these sheriffs have done is what needs to be done. You govern constitutionally. You reject unconstitutional orders, regardless of where and who they're coming from, to protect and serve the people, even from a tyrannical governor. Police officers and sheriffs, law enforcement, talking to you right now. I'll tell you one thing, especially if you're a Christian. The Bible says in Romans chapter 13 that you have been placed specifically in your position by God to be an avenger, to bear the sword against evildoers. That means it's your job to uphold righteous law. And what's righteous law in the context of the United States of America, in the scope of the Bible? Constitutional orders, period. Anything that's unconstitutional, reject. As a pastor, as a citizen, as a law enforcement agent, federal agent, state, police, sheriff, resist, reject. That's how you protect the American people. Otherwise, and I'm speaking to law enforcement agents right now, otherwise, this is how we enter into a police state. How do you think that happens? Because police officers get put in a position where they either choose their careers, their jobs, over protecting and serving the people that they have been placed by God to protect by upholding the Constitution, especially in the United States of America. This is why the Constitution is so important. It protects us all. It protects us all. We are all in subjection to the Constitution of the United States of America. So, my message right now to you as a law enforcement agent, police, sheriff, whatever, I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to start making some decisions like these sheriffs. You're either going to enforce a tyrannical, unconstitutional decree, law, and you're going to turn on the people. That's not protecting the people, my friend. Or you're going to reject and resist a tyrannical and unconstitutional decree and order. That is what God expects of you, and that is what America expects of you, and that is protecting and serving the American people. Just saying. Because if you don't, if you choose the other, you will literally become an agent of enforcing a police state. And that is what we hate. And that is not what we want in America. And that can happen. And at that point, I don't defend the blue at all. You better believe. You better believe. I will not be sitting here saying, support the blue, if you people end up becoming enforcers of a tyrannical police state. A lot of conservatives don't say that. A lot of conservatives don't even see that. But I'm willing to tell you what needs to be said, because this show is about truth, not political bias. It's about truth. I want to show you guys some other responses. I'm going to play this video. So I showed you law enforcement's response, but I want to show you the civil disobedience by patriots, and I'm so proud of them, especially being from California. I couldn't be there. But thousands of patriots in multiple counties, I'm just going to show you Huntington Beach, took to the streets in civil disobedience. If you saw all of their organizing flyers for their gatherings, rallies, this specific night, I believe it was Saturday night, all of their meetup times were at 10:01 p.m. to specifically civilly disobey this tyrannical psychopath's stay-at-home curfew. And here's a shot from my good friend Kalen Delmeda down at Scriber News. Let's take a look at this real quick. Here's a point that I want to make too, is if you are a leftist out there And you think for 1 second, listen, let's just hypothetically, okay? Let's say Trump's legal efforts fail. He doesn't get reelected. The deep state wins, and they officially and successfully hijacked our election, and Joe Biden is the 46th president of the United States. Just stay with me, okay? Do you honestly think for 1 second that the resurgence of patriotism and freedom and the America First agenda and the mega movement is going to go away anytime soon? Do you honestly believe, as a left, I'm talking to the left right now, do you honestly believe for 1 second that if Donald Trump loses this election and Joe Biden gets punched in artificially, and then probably Kamala Harris, you think for 1 second that the mega movement is just going to go away? You think that the America First movement and agenda is just going to go away? You think that 72, 73 million patriots that at this point hate the Republican Party probably and support Trump and are ready to start a third party, the mega party, are going to go away? This is what the media is not telling you. There's a huge fight ahead of us if it goes in that direction. They're not going anywhere. Nowhere. This is why AOC is starting to come out to Twitter and massive backlash for hit lists of compiling Trump supporters in the federal government and the states and eventually the media. That got canceled quickly because people saw how authoritarian and socialist and communist it really was. I don't think that's really going to go away. You want to know why they're doing that? This is why leftists on Twitter are calling for 72 million, 73 million Trump supporters to be re-educated somehow. You think we're going to go away? You think they're going to go away? Take a look around you. You know, and I got to say this because I got to say the truth. But all of these rallies that we were seeing, you know, COVID really screwed everybody. But even before COVID came in 2016, 17, 18, you know, we should have been hitting the streets way harder. And I you know, if you have been following me for any amount of time, you know I was saying this for the past 3 weeks. We should have been rallying in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. We should have just been full blown even before COVID. We shouldn't have gotten complacent, which I think we kind of did. And then COVID didn't make things any easier at all. Does that take away from Donald Trump's landslide victory without what we're seeing with the election fraud? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I just think our enthusiasm should have been way stronger earlier on out. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Donald Trump won in an absolute landslide. And I think if Donald Trump gets his day in court, you're going to see the evidence. I'm going to talk about this on a future podcast with what Rudy Giuliani is saying, because he has some very compelling cases. And I encourage you to go to Rudy, at the end of this show, go to Rudy Giuliani's YouTube and watch his last 3 posts. He begins to show you affidavits of people that witnessed hundreds of thousands of illegal ballots being counted. An affidavit is a literal piece of physical evidence that a court will accept as evidence to be investigated or to consider an illegal matter. So go take a look at that video at the end of this show. But what I'm trying to say is this. I'm so proud of the patriots in California because this is what freedom looks like. Whenever tyranny is knocking on our door, whenever we have an authoritarian psychopath like Governor Gavin Newsom telling us we cannot leave our house between 10 p.m. and 5 in the morning, what do we do as Americans? We say, hell no. We are not going to give you an inch. We've already given them way too many inches. Whenever we give them an inch, they take miles. They take light years on us. This is what dictators and authoritarians, psychopaths that are thirsty for power do. They inch their way in. You give them an inch, they take a mile. You give them a foot, they take tens of miles. This is what these people do. And I'm proud of the patriots in California for resisting tyranny, spitting in the face of the deep state, spitting in the face of Lord Governor Gavin Newsom and his ridiculous hypocrisy. Here he is trying to impose a stay-at-home curfew between 10 p.m. and 5 in the morning. You can't leave your house. But you know what? I can go have a dinner with my closest friend of more than a few decades, with my wife, without a mask on, no social distancing, with lobbyists and medical officials that all lecture you to not do what they are doing. This is the country that you live in. And if you live in California, this is literally the hypocrisy that's being shoved down your mouth. And you're expected to just take it. Take it like a lemming. Don't say anything. Don't speak out against it. But you know what? Big tech cannot stop us in the real world. This is why we have to take to the streets. This is why we have the First Amendment in the real world. It's obviously censored and suppressed on the digital world. Take to the streets, America. Civil, peaceful, First Amendment gathering is good and honorable because that's the law of the land in the eyes of God. We resist tyranny. We resist unconstitutional, tyrannical, psychopathic laws and decrees. So continue, Cali. They've gone way too far at this point. These people are rigging elections. These people are not giving a fair shot for any Republican that's running. If you're a Republican, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're a Republican running in the state of California, you're like a lamb being led to the slaughter. I'm sorry to offend some people. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. If you think for 1 second that you have an honest and fair shot at running for anything, like you have to win in a super landslide to beat the fraud. Super landslide to beat the fraud. We need more accountability in our elections, not only in California, but across the United States of America. Did you even know that America is using voting machines that were engineered and software in Venezuela? That go through Canadian companies, Canadian channels, and that go to Spain? Your vote is going through foreign channels? This is all on record. I posted this today on Twitter. The CEO of Dominion, under oath, admitted that their voting machines and parts inside of them are from China. In that same conference, under oath, they were asked, is any form of voting 100% safe? And the CEO of Dominion said, no. And there's CNN, they're the fact checkers all over Twitter, all over Facebook, telling you that election fraud is nowhere to be found, is not real. When the freaking CEO of Dominion is on record telling the world under oath that there is no form of voting that is 100% safe. Fact check that, Twitter. My goodness. These people expect you to be an idiot, to not dig for the truth and information that can be found still on the internet. Who knows how long the internet? Who knows? It'll be a free space, like on Google or open source. Open source is probably going to go away maybe in the next 10 years. I don't know. But I love the resistance. I love what people are doing. I think it's awesome. I think it needs to continue. The mega movement is not going anywhere. Whenever tyranny starts knocking on our door, we must resist. We must disobey. It's not godly to submit to evil, Pastor, Christian. It is not constitutional to submit to unconstitutional laws, American. It's our job as we the people to disobey. America was built and founded upon resisting and fleeing tyranny. So we must uphold it. We must continue it. We must hold the line. Because if we don't, who will? If we don't, who will? You have to get that in your mind, America. You cannot rely on people like me. You cannot rely on your favorite conservative commentator. You can't even rely on Donald J. Trump himself. Rely on God on high, and you, faith without works is dead. All talk and no action means nothing. It's you, the everyday American, that must get up, speak up, and start to mobilize against this authoritarian, psychopathic tyranny. It's you. It's time. Mobilize. Peacefully, while we can. While we can. Give me 1 second. Let's see how else Los Angeles. This is the last story I wanted to go with. Let's get this up real quick. Let's see how it's really going with Lord Gavin in California. I wanted to cover this because it's absolutely unbelievable. This is only going to open up the door for pedophiles, literally, to just run rampant. LA defund police budget cuts force department to dissolve sexual assault unit that investigated Weinstein. Holy crap! So defunding the police ended up defunding sexual assault units that looked into known sexual abusers of women. Where the hell is the Me Too movement on this one? This is why the left makes no sense. They wanted to fund the police, but at the same time, believe all women, women are being raped. Okay, I can get behind you on that, but hey, now you defunded the very unit that would help the women getting raped. It's mindless. Mindless. But this is the American left in 2020. Tell it like it is. Let's go. The Los Angeles Police Department is dissolving its sexual assault unit that investigated disgraced film producer Harvey Weinstein and adult film star Ron Jeremy, according to NBC4 Los Angeles. The LAPD is preparing for a drastic reorganization efforts after city leaders, including Mayor Eric Garcetti, decided in the summer to reduce the department's budget by $150 million amid calls to defund the police. After George Floyd's May 25th death in Minneapolis police custody. I'm going to get into this right now. This is really pissing me off. The sexual assault unit, this is one of the cutbacks that we're doing within the realignment. Those specialized detectives will be moved out of the geographic bureaus, LAPD Chief Michael Moore told the outlet. The LAPD did not respond to an inquiry from Fox News. The department will try to keep officers with specific skill sets working in their areas of expertise, but some are worried that officers will lack certain knowledge when dealing with complicated cases. I hope it doesn't have a negative effect. Oh, okay. Yvette Lozano, Chief Programs and Operations Officer for Sexual Violence Advocacy, nonprofit Peace Over Violence, told the outlet in regard to the possible removal of its Special Victims Unit. My God, the Animal Cruelty Task Force will also be dissolved. Defund the police! Okay, the Animal Cruelty Task Force, gone. Good job, Black Lives Matter. That's perfect. You guys are awesome. You guys care more about puppies than babies. Yeah, good job, Black Lives Matter. Morons. The Animal Cruelty Task Force will also be dissolved. Oh, wow. And several other units could face significant personnel reductions, including air support. the Metropolitan Division, gangs and narcotics and commercial crimes. You know what that has to do with? That would specifically target people like cartels, MS-13, that are pouring in tons of drugs through Los Angeles and California. Bye-bye. Defund the police. Idiots. Literal idiots. This is what I wanted to point. Let's go back to the main cam. This is the point I wanted to make about this. So now that over $120 million is being defunded in Los Angeles, LAPD, and now we're seeing the repercussions of that, and one of the units is the sexual assault special unit that was actually investigating Harvey Weinstein, a known sex predator against women. How does this add up? Black Lives Matter, you guys are stupid, literally stupid. You guys advocate with the Me Too movement, believe all women, women that are being raped, women that are sexually assaulted, which, okay, I can get behind that. Of course, I want women to have a voice, a legitimate voice. Okay? You guys advocate for that, and now you advocate to defund the police, and you have literally gutted the very unit in Los Angeles that actually was on Me Too's side with Harvey Weinstein. How stupid can you be at this point? Defund the police. Defund the police. Let me make this point, LA. If you're a liberal in Los Angeles, let me tell you this. You want me to put a chill down your spine, especially if you are a mother or a father? This unit of sexual misconduct, this is especially now is being defunded. Let's do something right now. After this show, search how many sex offenders are around you right now. Right now. Do it. You can do it. It will shock you. It will scare the hell out of you. How many pedophiles live around you? How many sex offenders and rapists live around you? Especially in LA, my friend. Do it. Search it. And you want to know something? Because you listened to Black Lives Matter and all of their stupidity to defund the police, now the sexual misconduct unit in Los Angeles is being defunded. So if your daughter gets raped, or your son or you, some kind of sexual misconduct, do not expect any kind of investigation. You want to know why? Because Black Lives Matter defunded them. And you're on your own. Your child is on their own. California is covering for pedophiles. And California is covering for rapists. California is so lawless right now that they are paving the way for innocents to be absolutely ravaged. If I were you, I would start fighting back or get the hell out of there. It is not a safe place to live anymore. Not a safe place. You know what's going to happen, LA? You're going to be a test subject as to what it looks like to defund the police, just like Minneapolis. You're next. Have fun. No, thank you. Have fun. Alrighty, guys, let's take some super chats. If you guys would like to ask a question in regards to anything I talked about in the show, or if you have a question that you've been wanting to ask, or theologically, or the election, or who knows, whatever. If you guys have a question, everything that you guys ask in the super chat section, it goes to support me. I don't monetize this channel, so if you would like to support me as a creator, as a reporter, as a host, as a commentator, a lot of work goes into this stuff with the editing, the pre-production, the obvious production, and the post-production. So if you guys would like to support me, obviously you guys can support me in the channels or the links below on Cash App, Patreon, Venmo, PayPal. Those are all in the description. Or if you'd like to leave a super chat and ask a question, you guys can do so right now. So I see that we have a couple super chats. So if you guys would like to ask a question, we are going to get into it right now. So let me pull this up. I want to thank you guys because I see a couple super chats already popping up. So we thank you guys for all of the support. I know my son, Baby Yoda, is very, very, very appreciative of the super chats because he likes to, he's a big fan of In-N-Out. So every time we go out to In-N-Out, he likes to use his super chat money to go buy himself a number one, a double with animal style fries. So if you guys would like to support his eating habits, you guys can leave a super chat below. So let me start to pull these up real quick. Here we go. Supers. I see we got some flowing in. Here we go. Alrighty. I think it's kind of got a weird dating on it. There it is. For some reason, it's dating it back to the 19th, but that's okay. Heather Giron, Heather Giron, thank you for the super chat, Heather. I don't have a lot right now, but thank you for keeping up the fight. Hey, man, whatever you guys want to, pitch in, it's cool. I understand times are hard right now, but, I just like to leave this avenue open because a lot of people do ask me. Like, I get a lot of messages, how can I support you financially? I get a lot of DMs, how can I support you financially? A lot of people ask me that question. And so I don't take away, the ability for people to want to support me if they want to, whether Super Chat, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, whatever, right? Patreon. I don't want to take away those avenues from the viewers. So I do support whatever it is, thank you. We do appreciate it. Hectic Design. Thank you for the Super Chat. Hectic Design. Thank you so much for the super chat. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep fighting the good fight. Yes, we absolutely will. And thank you for quoting the Bible. We will fight the good fight till the very end. The fight for truth, the fight for freedom, the fight for Christianity, the fight for our Western values that Black Lives Matter and Antifa are successfully subverting and attempting to eradicate out of America. We will fight the good fight. And anyone that's not down for it, then get the hell out of here. Just saying. Chevy Chick, thank you for the super chat. Chevy Chick. I'll chip in. Thanks for your work, Drew. No, thank you, Chevy Chick. I truly appreciate the super chat. I thank you for the support. You guys have no idea how much it really means. I mean, unless you run your own YouTube channel and you have like almost 50,000 views and you're putting out videos and you barely get 5,000 views and you're like, what is going on here? And you start to clearly see that Google on YouTube starts to just crap on your channel when you could honestly be making some good money running ads, like all the other leftist channels. It starts to really discourage you. And it's like, and then the lefties will come and say, oh, how dare you? How dare you take donations? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? It's like, I'm not grifting. I'm just leaving open an avenue for people to support me. It's not that hard. I'll show you a grifter. Trust me. They're in the conservative movement. I know who they are. Kendra Middleton Williams. Thank you for the super chat. Kendra Middleton Williams. Keep fighting the good fight, Drew. I'd love to join you one night. You are fantastic when you're talking to someone, especially if they're informed like you. Yeah, guys, I think what I'm going to start to do is, it just depends, because I am an investigative reporter, so I can't announce my location, obviously, because I get death threats from Antifa, from Black Lives Matter, from radical leftists, virtue signaling white people on the left. It's really weird. So I don't announce my location when I'm going to go out and report. But I think whenever I do start to do some more public appearances, I will be doing more meetups. So I can meet with you guys, conversate with you guys. I like talking to people, man. I'd love to meet you guys, especially at the upcoming, I think I'll be at SAS, Turning Point SAS. I think it's in Florida. I will be there. So if you guys would like to meet me, maybe I'll do a meetup there, right? So we'll do that, all right? So Lolo for show. I like the name. Lolo for show. Thanks, Drew. What do we do if they get away with this fraud? our God-given rights taken and our elections stolen. Continue peaceful non-compliance. I think this is something that we are going to have to play by ear, depending. I'll put it to you this way. If Rudy Giuliani, Jenna Ellis, and Sidney Powell, Lynn Wood, if they present an astronomical behemoth of evidence that proves that this election was fraudulent in court, if the evidence is there, it's this monumental freaking iceberg that took down Titanic, okay? Because that's what it's going to take to win this thing. If that goes to court and it's presented and the Supreme Court rejects it, I think we're going to run into some problems. I think at that point we're going to have to start having some conversations as to how we uphold our constitutional republic, even when there's clear as day evidence presented in court that gets rejected by our government. So I think those conversations, I mean, what's Trump going to do? I don't even know. What would Trump do? I don't know. I really don't know. Will he leave the White House? Will he stay in the White House? I don't know. I think right now we are going to start to see some more civil disobedience, because when lawlessness abounds, righteousness is right there to combat it. So I say let's wait a couple more weeks. Let's see what the Trump legal team comes up with. And if it's a freaking behemoth, Titanic iceberg of evidence that shows and proves that this election was absolutely fraudulent in court, that's what Trump's trying to do, in court, and it gets rejected, we'll see what patriots are going to do. As of right now, I don't know how to answer that question as of right. I think there will be a lot of public demonstrations, a lot of pissed off patriots. So we'll see. I got to be careful with what I say here on YouTube. Let me refresh this, guys. If we have any more super chats, make sure to drop one below to support the channel. All of your contributions support me as a creator, as a reporter, as a host, as a commentator, and I truly appreciate it. JVSH Town, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the sticker. I'm still working on some custom stickers. I know I can turn on the memberships here on this channel. I think I'm about to do it, so there's some more perks for you guys that support this channel. We will be doing that in the next couple weeks, and I do have some special announcements that are coming from the Tatum Report that you guys are all going to love. I can't say anything yet, but when it's all ready to, I'll say this, launch, you guys are in for a freaking surprise. A lot of new stuff coming out, man. I'm so stoked. I'm so happy to be with Brandon Tatum. I'm so happy to be with the TatumReport.com and everything that's coming in the future. I mean, the future looks amazing, and I'm excited to be a part of the conversation moving forward. I worked as hard as I possibly could in order to earn a spot at this table, to be able to enter the conversation when it comes to our republic. And I think I'm finally there. So I'm really thankful to be able to have a seat at this table. And it's all due to you guys. It's all due to the Real News gang. So thank you guys. Zach Kahela, Zach Kahela, thank you for the super chat. Grab a double on me, brother. You know what? I might like, there's an In-N-Out in walking distance. I might go. I don't know. Grab a double on me, brother. God bless, and thank you for what you do. Did you hear that? He loves double doubles. Have you guys been watching The Mandalorian? Pretty sick. Ahsoka's coming, right? I think Ahsoka is going to train Baby Yoda. I don't know. That's my theory. But hey, that's another podcast for another day. So thank you. Thank you for the super chat, Zach. Let me refresh this real quick, guys. If you guys have any more super chats and you would like to support the channel, I will wait a couple more minutes for you guys to hop in on that. If you guys would like to support what I do in this channel tonight, I know it's a Monday and things are a little slow, but that's okay. We're still going to run this show. If you would like to leave a super chat below, do so now before I head out. I'll give you guys about one more minute, and then I am outies, y'all. Yeah. New York is a hellhole too. Andrew Cuomo, that guy, my goodness, that guy's, Governor Cuomo, that guy's just freaking ridiculous. It's just like these people, they want to just rule your life. It's ridiculous. I know a lot of people think Sidney Powell is a fraud, but I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. If Sidney Powell is a fraud, then get her the hell out of there. If Linwood is a fraud, get him the hell out of there. If Jenna Ellis is a fraud, if Rudy Giuliani is a fraud, get them out. Like, stop giving the people false hope. I'm on the side where it's like, let's just get to the truth. If Trump lost, he lost. Let's move forward and let's save America again in the midterms in 2024 and get a candidate ready that's America first. But I think the Trump legal team has a case. So let's wait. Do you guys understand how astronomical of a task this is for these people? This is something that would take probably like 5 years to do. To prove mass, widespread voter fraud of a presidential election across the United States of America within a month or two. Do you understand how impossible that is? How long it takes to gather evidence, eyewitnesses, affidavits, to vet them to make sure that they're credible? You know how long this takes? And they don't have a lot of time. But with God, all things are what? Are possible. With man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. That's why my prayer, according to 1 Timothy chapter 2, is to pray for all people. This is good and acceptable in the eyes of the Lord. But also to pray for kings, those in authority, those in power, that we may live peaceful and quiet and righteous lives. My prayer right now is that God literally, supernaturally, by the grace and mercy of God, helps Trump's legal team to do the impossible. That's my prayer right now. By God's will. Because that's what they need. They need wisdom. They need guidance. They need God's absolute grace. Grace means God's unmerited assistance and help. They need help. They need Hail Marys. They need things that are impossible to uncover and find and prove. Right now, as a Christian, you should be praying for the absolute impossible. Hopefully, God will defy everything that we as humans, even in the court of law, even well-seasoned constitutional lawyers, might calculate as an impossibility for this case to actually win. Christ is our advocate. He's the ultimate lawyer. So we'll see. May God be with Rudy Giuliani. May God be with Sidney Powell. May God be with Jenna Ellis. May God be with Linwood. And may God be with Donald J. Trump, the 45th president of the United States of America, and in my opinion, the 46th president of the United States of America. We have one more super chat right here before I leave. Jordan the Dragon, I'm conflicted because I want to watch The Mandalorian, but can't really support Disney with the China stuff and Mulan. I know. I think these are just personal convictions that you're going to have to work through on your own. You know, I think there's a lot of things. China has their hand in everything, dude. Throw your smartphone away. Literally. Throw it away right now. Stop watching this podcast. Don't stop watching. I'm just saying. Like, because China has their hand in so much, this is why Donald Trump was so aggressive against China, because this country's soul was sold over to the Chi-Coms. All of our manufacturing, you look under everything that's built in this country, what does it say? Made in China. It's gotten to the point where you can't exist. What are you going to do? Throw away your iPhone. Throw away your smartphone. It's a personal conviction thing, but this is why Donald Trump ran on American First, because we wanted to put a stop to that. We want American made. So I agree with you. I understand it's hard. Art T, thank you for the super chat. Art T, appreciate the super chat. Thank you guys for the support. maybe some more sharing on your Patreon. Yeah, I'm trying to get my Patreon going again. Right now, I am going to be looking for a producer to help me with all of this stuff, because you can only imagine when I'm traveling to Washington, D.C., I'm reporting on the ground, getting death threats by Black Lives Matter, getting death threats from Antifa, getting over 20 million views on Twitter with all of the Real News reporting, doing Man on the Street, and then this podcast. I could really use the help. So I actually am looking for a producer to help me with this, to kind of help my Patreon going, because, guys, if you have ever run a podcast or an independent show, this is not CNN, this is not Fox News, this is not Blaze TV. It's just me and like my wife. And like I edit all the edits you see, guys. I don't have an editor. I don't have a producer. I don't have people chopping up videos for Twitter, all that you see, all the separate videos on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, all the separate edits that you see go throughout that's all literally me. So it's a lot of work, and I do my best to get the content out there. But yeah, we are going to be trying to get our Patreon going again. Chrissy Richardson, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I'm waiting for the whole thing to come out. I hate watching one episode, then having to wait. Yeah, I know. It sucks, but I mean, would you rather have the sequel trilogy of Star Wars? You know what I mean? Like, they gave us 3 crap Star Wars movies that I hate. I mean, I kind of like The Force Awakens, and you guys heard me talk about this on Timcast with Tim. But The Last Jedi can go burn in hell. I'm sorry, that movie sucks. And I think what happened with The Rise of Skywalker was just a cash grab. There were so many things in The Rise of Skywalker that could have saved the franchise that actually ended up getting cut out of the movie. So, I mean, would you rather have the sequel trilogy all given to you at once by Kathleen Kennedy that's all SJW'd out? Or would you rather have a masterpiece in The Mandalorian by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau that's given to you episode by episode, week by week? I mean, I would rather have that. I'm just saying, as a Star Wars fan. As a Star Wars fan, I'm just giving you guys my 2 cents. I will forever hate The Last Jedi until I will take that to my grave. You can put on my grave, The Last Jedi sucks. I will take that to my grave. Change my mind. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to be heading out. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for the super chats. Make sure to share this video, subscribe to the channel. Go follow me on Rumble right now. The link is in the description. Follow me on Rumble. I will be posting videos on Rumble that will not be posted on this YouTube channel. So go follow me on Rumble. I'll still be doing the live podcast here. Make sure to like this video, destroy the like button, share this video. Follow me on Parler, Lives Matter Official, Instagram, Lives Matter Official, Twitter, Lives Matter Show, Facebook, Lives Matter. And until next time, America, I will see you again. What you need to do is always remember that you must stay free. See you guys later.